Mitronam and Bandhuvam, Namaskaram. Welcome to South Asia Maps Education Channel, your intellectual Chatriya's channel. Mitrom, we are continuing our fascinating series on human ecology that is a very, very broad subject, covers very diverse fields. We are discussing part 27. Human ecology. The title of this particular part is Sun never sets on the planet Earth. This is the planet Earth. We know sun never sets on the planet Earth. When the British Empire was at peak, they also thought the sun will never set on the British Empire that was spread throughout the planet Earth. But actually, post-World War II, sun has set on the British Empire, sun set on the ex-superpower England. The empire that once thought that sun will never set on it. So, here we are not going to look at the World War, the political treaties, wars and battles. That is the world paradigm. That means that is called socio-politico-economic paradigm. We will be looking at the new paradigm, that is the ecological paradigm. So once you are aware of this ecological paradigm, you can guess and have an understanding what is happening on the planet Earth. Mitrom, and you are aware, so I have that human ecology series. Today we are looking at 127 global empires sunsets, taking England or Britain or United Kingdom as an example. 127. This series I have explained extensively, and you can look at them. The previous series in the human ecology, again the previous series in the human ecology, the human ecology, the human ecology, the beginning of the human ecology. So these are some of the diverse fields I posted for you. You can go and enjoy the intellectual sojourn on listening them. You will be benefited a lot, and you can get the my 4+ decades of extensive research in this field. Even though that's my passion, and I'm originally a biologist, agriculturalist, and crop breeder. And that is, you can find those series. We have around about 490 or so when this video is recorded, January 2024, few days after consecration ceremony of Divya Rama Mandir on Ayodhya and Sarayu River in the Indo-Gangetic Plains, Ganga Maidan. South Asia Maps, J. Reddy, you can look at that series. After this presentation, you will get a very diverse understanding. You see, what is England, what is Great Britain, what is United Kingdom? I have explained somewhere. You can look at my series. Here, this is suffice to say United Kingdom has a geographical area of 240,000 square kilometers. This England is itself 130, and Wales and Scotland round about 100, that becomes 230 also. 15 Northern Ireland, I just made it, rounded it up. This is in that range. There are also Isle of Man, like that, small islands that we need not be worrying that much about it. 1801, or roughly we say 1818, I made it easy, 1818, world has a population of 1 billion. That is at the time of Battle of Waterloo, where British power peaked. So the few years is not that critical. There are around about 8 million people lived in. I think this is England. Maybe the Britain is little more, but that may not much. As of 2022, there are around about 57 millions in England population and 60, 62 or something like that in the whole United Kingdom. So if you take that 1800 population, at the time the steam engine invention and Robert Malthus, known for his population theory and charcoal burning and iron smelting, coal discoveries in England and steam engine, immediately they started building the railway lines and industrial revolution started. Manufactured goods produced, they were exported through the colonies. All those things we'll talk about. 1801, England has, let's say, 7.5 million people. Population doubled to 15 million. Again doubled 30 million. Again doubled 60 million. That means within a span of around about 225 years or so, population doubled 3 times. That is an enormous doubling. Not only that, at that time, 1800s, so population of Britain before Industrial Revolution is a simple Homo sapiens. Now they are colossals, demanding lot of external energy, fossil fuels, running cars, so on. So the British Empire has vast and diverse, and its geopolitical strategy was very different. The administrative units, the colonies were called by different names. You say the homeland, that is England or United Kingdom, Great Britain is the homeland. This is called the dominions, the Dominion of Australia, Dominion of Canada. Then they have protectorates, mandated territories, they have dependent territories, they have presidencies, Madras Presidency, Bombay Presidency, and Bengal Presidency, and so on. They were princely states, and so on. So it's a very complicated, a broad term. So the definition, the global empire, here the British Empire that was so extensive, and it seems as though it was always daytime, that sun shining somewhere at least on one part of the empire or not. Then why that global empire collapsed, and is a natural law that sun has set on the British Empire. We look in this is essentially the same. I have expanded little further, and so we talked about the Industrial Revolution, 1818, peaking of the British Empire, the Battle of Waterloo, the European plains near the town of Waterloo in Belgium. British people take advantage of voyages and explorations and set themselves for their descendants vast colonies in North America, Canada, Australia, and is called to take over. They have the advantage of pumping their excess redundant surplus population to various places. That has came to an end when the America became an independent nation. Even though it's become independent, still accepted large number of people coming from the homeland or parent land and Europe. Then, due to industrial revolution, they start digging down. That's called drawing down. That means drilling for minerals, metals, fossils, and so on. That is also a temporary process. You cannot drill more. So it took the advantage. It took the advantage of what is called acreage. I will show you what is a fish acreage, trade acreage, and the ghost acreage, visible acreage, invisible acreage. Ghost acreage is essentially a trade acreage. The Britain imports the raw material, manufactured the goods. These goods are sent at more prices to the colonies, and from the colonies it gets a lot of food stuff and consumables, as well as some expensive spices and so on. That means it enjoyed its luxury, its comfort, affluence was due to ghost acreage, trade acreage that is not visible within the 240 square kilometer, 240,000 square kilometers or so visible acreage the Britain has. Visible acreage is the farmland, the forest land, and where you can find the land to dig for the coal, iron, aluminium, and so. it took the advantage of that ghost acreage, the trade acreage, invisible acreage that came to almost challenged severely by emerging new empires, especially German Empire. And even though Germany got defeated, Britain itself suffered a major setback. Again, Germany recovered, again challenged, and finally, World War II, the British Empire collapsed. That is end of Anglo Empire. Anglo-American Empire. Meanwhile, the America also expanded coast to coast. It also acquired a lot of colonies like in Philippines, Guam, Puerto Rico, so on. The story is essentially same. What end of the Anglo Empire is the Anglo-American Empire. The loss of all these colonies was the major drawback why the sunset has occurred, and the sunset in a sense not the loss of the territories, the invisible acreage, the trade acreage. That's what ecologically we have to keep in mind. That, and it enjoyed lot of fishing rights surrounding and also challenged by other emerging nations. It also lost a lot of fish acreage. Its underground acreage, that is drilling down its own soil for coal iron, it also got exhausted almost at the end of the World War II. The overseas acreage lost, underground acreage beneath the English soil also got exhausted, and of course during the Margaret Thatcher's time, round about 1980 also, same time the Reagan time, the United States, they got the Alaskan Isles discovered and the British got the North Sea Isle. It gave a temporary glow of historical acreage that is called ghost acreage, that is fossil fuel acreage, oil acreage. The population overload occurred on the British Empire. So why the sun has set on the superpower England, the population doubling, the termination of the takeover, the termination of the loss of colonies, loss of the trade acreage, loss of invisible acreage coming throughout the planet Earth. Finally, the loss of the fossil fuel acreage because the coal got expensive to drill and population overload occurred on the British territory empire. So this is where the population globally we see around about 1800 there is 1 billion people, 1,000 million people. 1800 remember 8. Remember that is the population of the Great Britain. We rounded it up to 7.5, made it to 30, and 7.5 made it to 15, double it 30, again double it 60 or so. That is the population of United Kingdom today. That means the population overload. So initially it the advantage of the taking over from the colonies, that is it increased the opportunities for its own citizens by taking away the flora and fauna of lot of other areas, especially the New World, United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and so on. That ended. After that ended, it depended on industrial revolution was taken advantage of drawing down, drilling temporarily minerals, metals, coals, and it also ended. It ended on the native soil of the Britain by the time of the World War II, even though temporarily later space was given, the North Sea oil, that also ended, drawdown also ended, that was. That means the Britain was very successful, affluent nation because it enjoyed food acreage. That means even though it didn't produce much food later, it got the food imported from other colonies. That means it enjoyed the food acreage. If you defray them, then you have to have additional farmland in the British nation. That is not possible. It enjoyed the fuel acreage coming from the oil imports. It enjoyed the fish acreage. Most important is the trade acreage, that is trading with colonial partners. While in the trade is an advantage because the British currency was an inflated currency due to historical colonial reasons. That means you have one pound you can buy many things from throughout the colony. Same like the America is doing. It have $1 you can buy many things in Bangladesh or in India, like that, oil and so on. It lost the ghost acreage. The coal mining, coal become expensive to mine. That means returns on the investment, per capita energy invested, per capita energy got from the coal also decreased. Invisible acreage, ghost acreage, the trade acreage decreased. Now it has to depend purely on visible acreage. That's why the nation is not that prosperous. So we have talked about the United Kingdom, the difference between the Britain, the area like the Ireland, the Scotland, and the Britain 130, Wales, and the southern that is the southern part of the Ireland Irish Republic. How you can look at the game series, geographic areas made easy, 13 part, you will get a better understanding of that. So once you have a very big empire, coast to almost span the 24 time zones, they thought the sun will never set an empire. In fact, it has set not due to political reasons, it has set due to ecological reasons, the population overload, end of takeover, and termination of the drawdown. Even though still drawdown is going down, but it is not giving that much the results the nations expect. The same thing that United States is facing now, what once was faced by the Britain, once a prominent superpower, is the same everywhere in the throughout the world. China facing the same issue. British has the colony from the Cape province to Cairo. Throughout you can see the mandated territory, Palestine, Transjordan, Iraq, and South Asia, and the state settlements, and Sarawak and Sabah, and Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, Polynesia, and Papua New Guinea, Guyana, and all those belies, coast to coast. That is the important thing. So that is the essence about sun never sets on the planet Earth, that we know. British one thought sun will never set on their empire because it was almost global, 24 time zones it spanned, but sun has set on the planet British Empire. It has set due to regions other than political regions of the World War One, World War Two, takeover, drawdown, population overload. That is the historical perspective or ecological perspective of the events that happened on British soil, once a prominent political power on the planet Earth. Hope this will put things in the proper perspective. And if you liked these videos, uh, you can subscribe the channel. That's why you can see I will show you the this is the sun and the British Empire, the homeland, the mainland. It has throughout the planet Earth. It has the colonies, Hong Kong and New Zealand and so on. Finally, sun has set due to other regions. And thank you very much for joining me. And see you later in other presentations.